Over 2,000 houses in America are documented as actively haunted, but only one has been officially certified as haunted by the U.S. Commerce Department. What makes a house so disturbing that the government has to acknowledge it? There's a house in San Diego's Old Town. From the outside, it looks normal, 2 stories, brick construction, Greek Revival architecture, the kind of place you'd see in a history book. But step inside, and you'll understand why visitors leave within minutes, why tour guides refuse to work alone, why even skeptics walk out believers. This is the Whaley House, and its reputation isn't just local legend. It's documented, investigated, verified. Today we're going inside America's most officially haunted house, and by the end, you'll understand why some doors should stay closed. The Whaley House has a problem. People who visit don't just feel uncomfortable, they experience things. Cold spots in 90-degree weather, footsteps in empty rooms, the smell of cigar smoke where no one's smoking, the sound of a woman crying where no woman stands. Visitors report being touched, pushed, followed. Security cameras catch shadows moving through locked rooms. Motion sensors trigger when nothing visible passes by. And it's not just tourists. The staff experience it too. Tour guides hear their names whispered when they're alone. Doors lock from the inside. Objects move between closing time and opening. One employee quit after hearing footsteps following her up the stairs every night for a week. Another refuses to enter the second floor after dark. Even the historians who work there, people trained to be objective, admit something's wrong with the house. The fear isn't about belief. It's about what happens when you're inside. Because the Whaley House doesn't just have a reputation. It has a history that explains why. The house was built in 1857 by Thomas Whaley. He was a businessman, successful, wealthy. He wanted a home that reflected his status. So he bought land in Old Town San Diego. Prime location, good price. But there was something he didn't advertise to his family. The land had been used as a public gallows. People had been hanged there, criminals, horse thieves. At least one execution was documented. A man named Yankee Jim Robinson, convicted of stealing a boat, hanged in 1852. The drop was too short. He didn't die instantly. He strangled for several minutes while the crowd watched. 5 years later, Thomas Whaley built his house on that exact spot. The Whaley family moved in. Thomas, his wife Anna, and their children. Within a year, strange things started. Footsteps, heavy boots. Walking across the second floor. Thomas heard them. Anna heard them. The children heard them. Thomas wrote about it in his journal. He said the footsteps sounded like a large man. He said they always followed the same path, across the upstairs hall, then stopping abruptly, right where the gallows trapdoor had been. But the footsteps weren't the only thing. In 1858, their 18-month-old son died in the house, scarlet fever. In 1885, their daughter Violet died by suicide in the house. She shot herself after a failed marriage. She was 22. Anna Whaley died in the house in 1913. Thomas had already passed years before. The house sat empty for decades. It changed hands. It was used as a theater, a general store, a courthouse. But no one stayed long. Every tenant reported the same things. Footsteps, crying, cold spots, shadows. By the 1960s, the house was going to be demolished. That's when the Historical Society stepped in. They wanted to preserve it as a museum. They renovated. They opened it to the public, and the reports intensified. Visitors started seeing figures, a woman in a long dress, a man in period clothing, a small girl running through the halls. Paranormal investigators came. They recorded EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, voices on tape that weren't there during recording. They captured temperature drops of 20 degrees in seconds, They filmed objects moving on their own. In 1964, the U.S. Commerce Department added the Whaley House to the National Register of Haunted Places. It's the only house in America with that designation, because the evidence wasn't just anecdotal, it was measurable. But who haunts the Whaley House? The most commonly reported spirit is a man, heavy boots, cigar smoke, walking the upper floor. People believe it's Yankee Jim Robinson, the man who was hanged on the property, still walking the spot where he died. Then there's Anna Whaley. Visitors report seeing a woman in the downstairs parlor. She's described as stern, watchful. She doesn't speak. She just stares. Some say she's protecting the house. Others say she's angry that strangers are inside. Violet Whaley is seen in the second-floor bedroom where she died. Witnesses describe an overwhelming sadness in that room. Some visitors start crying without knowing why. And there's the little girl. No one knows who she is. Some think it's the Whaley's infant son. Others believe it's a child from one of the families who lived there later. She's seen running through the hallway, laughing, playing. But when people follow her, she disappears. One tour guide said she saw the girl standing at the top of the stairs. She smiled. Then she stepped backward into a wall and vanished. The guide quit the next day. But there's one story that defines the Whaley House, one incident that even skeptics can't explain. It happened in 2012. A paranormal investigation team got permission to spend the night. They set up cameras, audio recorders, EMF detectors. They started in the upstairs bedroom, Violet's room. The lead investigator asked questions out loud, standard procedure. Is anyone here with us? Can you give us a sign? Nothing happened. Then one of the team members felt something. A hand on her shoulder. She spun around. No one was there. She checked the footage later. The camera was pointed at her back. You can see her standing there. You can see her react. And you can see the fabric of her shirt move, like someone grabbed it. But no one is visible on the recording. The team moved to the courtroom, the original courtroom where trials were held in the 1800s. They set up a device called a spirit box. It scans radio frequencies. The theory is that spirits can manipulate the white noise to form words. They ask questions. What is your name? Static. How did you die? Static. Then a voice came through, clear, unmistakable. Hanged. They stopped the session. They checked the equipment. Everything was working normally. They played the audio back. The word was there. Hanged. They asked one more question. Are you still here? The response was immediate. Yes. Then every door in the house slammed shut at once. The team left. They didn't finish the investigation. The lead investigator said in an interview later, I've been in dozens of haunted locations. I've never felt anything like that house. Whatever's there doesn't want to be disturbed. The footage from that night has been analyzed by audio experts. No one can explain the voice. The frequencies don't match radio signals. They don't match any known interference. And the doors? The house was empty. Locked from the outside, no wind, no drafts. Every door in the building slammed shut within 2 seconds of each other, simultaneously. The Whaley House is still open to the public. You can tour it. You can walk the same halls where Violet died, where Yankee Jim was hanged, where Anna Whaley still watches. But here's what you need to know. This isn't a place where you'll feel a chill and dismiss it. This is a place where the fear is documented, recorded, verified by equipment and witnesses and government agencies. The footsteps are real, the voices are real, the shadows are real, and whatever's inside isn't leaving, because the Whaley House isn't just haunted, it's actively occupied by people who died there and refused to let go. Have you ever been somewhere that felt wrong? a house, a building, a place where you knew something was watching you, drop your story in the comments. I read every single one. And if you want to see more of America's most haunted locations, like and subscribe to this channel. That way you won't get to miss anything. Even the places paranormal investigators won't enter after dark. Thanks for watching, and if you're ever in San Diego, maybe skip the Whaley House tour. Some experiences you can't unsee.